Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me to another episode of Music with Nick. Today I'm super excited. We're going to do a marathon for Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle, for sponsoring the video, the marathon. And I'm super excited also because of course, Michelle always chooses very, very carefully. And so kind of like, we like it, you like it. It's more like I don't know. She just does that. So we're going to do 4 songs, and I have a little list here. So one song we did already, but I've never seen the video to it, and it's quite a longer song. So I told Michelle, hey, I think we did this song, but I'm pretty sure we did it, but on Patreon. We did a full album of Steven Wilson. So I was like, it's from The Raven That Refused to Sing. So, but this version that I'm going to do is a little bit longer. It's like a minute longer because it is a video. It's animated. It's beautiful. So I'm going to pull that up. And so that's what we're going to start with. It's called Drive Home by Steven Wilson. This is from 2013. And it has Guthrie Govan on the guitar, so that's already exciting. I didn't know that, actually. So then we're gonna do by artist Tom Waits. I mean, we know he's a singer, actor, all sorts of. I saw him. I just she put down some movies here. I remember him in Licorice Pizza, and I think also the actor that played Batman in Batman Dark Knight. What was it? Dark Knight? The second one. I'm sorry. He also kind of like inspired his Joker and a voice on Tom Waits. Oh man, I just don't remember right now what his name is. And he unfortunately did pass away a year after the movie or something. It will come to my mind because I'm a huge fan of his acting, but it's just like, so we're gonna do Tom Waits. We're gonna do the song Alice, and all right, and then this is gonna be super exciting for all you prog fans out there. I mean, if you're watching this, I guess you're watching it because of Steven Wilson, but this is the Pineapple Thief in Exile, and it has Gavin Harrison from Porcupine Tree. That's the band that Steven Wilson created, but he also drums on King Crimson. And I looked up some more stuff from him, and he's also on Renaissance and Blackfield. Isn't that crazy? So very busy, very, very cool, very, very experienced guy. And then we're gonna do let's see, Bruce Soord and Jonas Renkse. This is Frozen North, and this is also the guy from Pineapple Thief, and we got Jonas Renkse from Katakonia. So there you go. That's the list that we're gonna do, and I hope you do enjoy. I'll be right back with you guys with the music. All right, and here we go with Steven Wilson, Drive Home. All right, I've never seen this before, so let's see what happens. Oh, let me just move a little bit further. I'm like literally like behind the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Here we go. Like from the Titanic.
clear away all the jets out in your brain and face the truth. Well, I can make amends, but while the darkness always ends, you're still alone.
All right, so as you can see, there was a break. This was not caused by me. I think this video has a lot of views. I suddenly got a Spider-Man commercial, which kind of like, yeah, that kind of sucked, but it's all good. Here we go. Let's continue.
So try. Clear away all the jets in your brain and face the truth. Well, I can make amends, but while the darkness always ends, you're still alone. So try.
Beautiful Guthrie here. Wow. What's next? Just cope. Oh, it's the credits. Okay. Well, this was wonderful. I really, really loved the video. And I kind of like, at the beginning, I was like, when he looked away and there was like this flash of light, I was like, okay, I think they got into an accident. But then he was just looking supposedly at the sea, like at the lake. And then she wasn't there anymore, which was kind of like a flashback. But I was like, and then he was suddenly was alone and also in a wheelchair. So he had this accident that they show later, but I kind of knew, you know, that had happened. But man, what a great great videos. I've always been a fan of stop motion animations since I started watching just like the, you know, Tim Henson, you know, movies. Is it Tim or Tom? It's Tim Henson, yeah. Tim Henson movies like Labyrinth, but then again, of course, movies like Nightmare Before Christmas. What was the one with the oh boy, where they go and they're living like a peach or something? That was wonderful. What was the other one that I love? I'm so bad with names. It's about a girl. It's very Alice in Wonderland, but I just love stop motion animation. The new Pinocchio, beautiful the way they did it. It took him about 3 years or something, but yeah, this was a great video. And of course, I mean, Steven Wilson or Porcupine Tree is always, you know, it's always a treat to listen to him, and his compositions, the people he has and his bands, and it's just wonderful. So I hope you did enjoy it as much as I did. Okay, I'm gonna load up the next song. Give me just one moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I just wanted to comment real quick on Steven Wilson. That solo was just fantastic. You know, Guthrie is such a versatile player, and when he plays slow, it's wonderful, but also when he plays fast, it's like, oh man, he's just the full package. I hope he gets more recognition. I mean, he's playing now with Hans Zimmer. I've seen some, you know, clips where he plays with Hans Zimmer, and I hope he gets more work because he's really like one of the best in the business. And you know, let's just hope he does well. He's not doing a lot of albums, but you know, I guess it's very expensive or very time consuming, and I guess it's just more beneficial to be teaching or touring with other bands and stuff. But I don't know. I don't really know. Okay, so next song is Tom Waits. I'm gonna play Alice. Here we go.
It's dreamy weather we're on. You waved your crooked wand along an icy pond with a frozen moon. A murder of silhouette crows I saw in the tears on my face, and the skates on the pond, they spell Alice. I disappear in your name, but you must wait for me somewhere across the sea.
Wow, beautiful voice.
There's the wreck of a ship. Your hair is like meadow grass on the tide, and the raindrops on my window, and the ice in my drink. Baby, all I can think arithmetic, turn the hands back on the clock. How does the ocean rock the boat? How did the razor find my throat? The only strings that hold me here are tangled up around the pier. And so a secret kiss brings madness with the bliss. And I will think of this when I'm dead in my grave. Set me adrift and I'm lost over there. And I must be insane to go skating on your name. And by tracing it twice, I fell through the ice of Alice.
Wow, what a voice. Yeah, he sounds a little bit like Louis Armstrong. Like, you know, he has that very bassy, very low register, like, you know, like, I know he's a smoker. I've seen him in, you know, these couples of movies, and he's always kind of like smoking. And I guess it does, I don't know, you know, change your voice after a while. I've heard it with Joni Mitchell that because she used to smoke. I mean, I guess it makes sense, you know. But hey, you know, if it makes him happy, perfect. This is a great tune. I love the sax. It's very jazzy. It's very slow. It's almost like it could have been perfect in the last marathon that Michelle requested, the detective, like noir one. Please watch that one if you haven't watched it. It's under, I think I named it, I don't know if it was, just type in, yeah, I mean, we did Dire Straits, we did all kinds of stuff that was very detective, like noir, like, and I would have to look it up. But yeah, it's there. This one also gives me a little bit of that vibe, you know. It's very like, I don't know, very noirish, very, I don't know. I can smell the smoke in a bar and the, you know, the whiskey, and it has a very peculiar odor, you know, when you go into a bar when it's closed. I remember as a child, I could only be at my dad's, you know, disco during the day when they would do something there. Could never be there at night. So, but I always would have that smell of beer and alcohol and cigarettes, and people would just like literally, and it was crazy because this place was all carpet, right? And people would just like, you know, smoke inside and then just drop their cigarette and, you know, just turn it. So it was just like, it smelled like cigarettes and alcohol, and but it's a particular smell that always was in my mind. And then I did used to work as a waiter, and also I think I, for a while, only for a couple of weeks or so, I worked at that same restaurant at the bar, and that it wasn't for me because I want to be moving all the time, you know, and just standing behind that bar was kind of like, oh no. So but the smell that place had when you would get there before it opened, it smelled like that, you know. But now I guess it has changed because now smoking is basically banned everywhere, which it's so weird. I was just talking about this with Alexia. I was like, have you ever been on a plane? Like, did you ever go on a plane ride when smoking was still allowed? And she said, yes. We were both kind of very small at the time, but we do remember that the only thing that separated the smoking section was a curtain, you know. It's kind of crazy that everybody in that plane, if you would go to Germany or something, for 8 hours, you had to kind of like smoke, even though you're not a smoker. You just had to live with it, I guess. It's very funny. Okay, let's go back. This is a great tune. I love it. It's very, even more romantic, and I don't know, it's just very good.
And so a secret kiss brings madness with bliss, and I will think of this when I'm dead in my grave. Set me adrift and I'm lost over there, and I must be insane to go skating on your name, and by tracing it twice I fell through the ice of Alice. There's only
Beautiful. He even reminded me of you know, there's only that part. Of that's very what Angelina Jordan is doing, but she obviously is doing, you know, an interpretation of the old like jazz greats, you know, like Sarah Vaughan and, you know, Ella Fitzgerald and all those amazing, you know, singers of the jazz singers of the golden era, you know. But yeah, that sounded beautiful. It was a great tune. I loved it. And also the I don't know if it was a sax, because it says here French horn. So, but whatever they were playing, it sounded very like the. And I don't know, Stan Getz used to do that a lot, and Paul Desmond, and I love those two guys. For me, they're like, from the cool jazz era, they're the two greats for me. Okay, so now we're gonna turn this a little bit up. We're gonna go into a little bit more prog territory here, progressive. But it was a nice change of pace, you know, from the progressive style of Steven Wilson into this jazzy world. It was really nice. This is Pineapple Thief in Exile. Here we go.
We are in exile. You know. We were wrecking our lives, you know. to miss me. Oh, don't be afraid to miss me. Oh, don't be afraid to miss me. I am in exile. I know. I am wrecking your life. I was hostile, and we fought to the death. Oh, don't be afraid to miss me. Oh, don't be afraid to miss me. Oh, don't be afraid to miss me. Don't be afraid to hate me. Don't be afraid to miss me. Don't be afraid to miss me.
I totally forgot to pause. Wow. Yeah. I totally forgot to pause. Man. I was thinking of all the stuff I wanted to say, and then I was just like, it was so good. The drumming, oh man, the solo, beautiful. The voice, it sounded very Porcupine Tree, like inspired. I think this is, and I checked the year 2016. I was like, yeah, these guys are definitely, in the same direction of Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree. It's just that kind of sound. It has now, like, it is a style that you can, I guess I've always, when I've listened to Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson before, I was like, it sounds a little bit but like Pink Floyd, if Pink Floyd was a little bit heavier. But now I can say, oh, this sounds a little bit like Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson. That that's the only comparison that I can make. But Pineapple Thief, man, that's a good trip. You know, it's a good sounding band, very balanced. I love how he was soloing, and I don't know, it was just very beautiful and nice and slow, and then he got a little bit of drama in there with just speed. You know, it's dramatic. That's when you're, I guess, the best way to, if you have, you know, the ability to play fast and clean. I think it's the most important part. If you play fast, you have to play clean, because if you play fast and it's all like choppy and all, then stick to slow, because it doesn't sound good, you know. That's just my, you know, I think my, if I hear a guitar player who plays fast and it sounds all like out of time and it doesn't add up with the right hand, what the left hand is doing, it's clearly not, I don't know, I can't appreciate it that much. But this guy on the other hand was super, his playing was super, I don't know, I just love clean playing. I'm kind of like obsessed with it myself. So this was great. This was a great track. Beautifully, like the whole thing. But I'm sure if I would play this to Alexia without like telling her, I would have her fooled the first couple of minutes. Maybe the voice, it doesn't sound like Steven Wilson, but the style, I would be like, hey, check out the Steven Wilson song. And she would be like, yeah, definitely. But then I would be like, no, it's Pineapple Thief. Okay. So now this is the last one of the marathon. Let's see. So Bruce Soord, not sword like a sword, like not like a sword. It's a Soord, Bruce Soord or sword, and Jonas Renkse, and they have this band together, and this is called Frozen North. This song, I have no idea. So yes. Michelle told me that there are part of Pineapple Thief, so I guess it's the same style from Pineapple Thief and Katakonia. So I'm sure we're gonna get some other progressive playing here. So here we go.
Look at the way it turns. The wind, nothing will make it learn. See the snow on its lonely ride. Watch, gently they all collide. Touch, place your hands on the frozen ground. Caress the eyes of this cold, cold land. Feel there's nothing to feel anymore. Numb and bitterness to the core. Turning it back to me, turning it back to you. Moving it back and forth, by the way it burns. Nothing will make us learn.
I'm looking for, there's this thing that Alexia uses for her feet and for her back, and I'm starting to use it now too, because not because I have problems with my back, but when I do this, you know, when I'm getting into the song, you know, like this, you see the camera feels like an earthquake. Now when I use this thing, which is, I saw it right here. Excuse me, guys, but it's this, you know. So I put it on my, if I put my feet on it, then I can literally, like, you know, do this and it doesn't move because it's basically dampening my, you know, you see, I'm like literally like pushing into the ground, and it's so cool. So I can do this whole without moving the camera so much. But I'm loving, first of all, the intro of this song was super cool. Very, it reminded me a little of the Scorpions, a Scorpion song. There's this love. No, like what is it called? Like da 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 dee, da da dee. The chord progression. But here, this, it sounded a little bit like it, but of course very different. And what I loved also was that there were, I think they're using an electroacoustic with steel strings and a nylon guitar, like a more classical. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. And then like this wall of like heaviness. I love like when it comes in and it just like it blows you away, you know, like really cool. I'm loving it. Very, very different from the Pineapple Express. Pineapple. I think that's the movie, Pineapple Express. Very different from the Pineapple Thief. Okay. Alexia. Oh, I love her so much. Okay. So, let's continue.
Nothing will make us learn. Feel the grasp of my cold hand. Below the eyes of this cold land. Turning it back to me. Turning it back to you. Moving it back and forth. Stuck in the frozen north.
Very cool. Oh man, I love the whole industrial that sounding stuff, and then very, very cool, very different, just very, you know, inventive. And when is this from? Let's see. 2013. So it's not that old, you know. It's just like, it just feels, you know, newer, but in a good way, you know. It's like not, it's very, it just sounds very original. So this was very, very good, very, very cool duo of these two bands getting together, like these two people of these two different bands. So give me just one moment, I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so I wanted to add another song, and I've chosen Dream Theater because we haven't heard the album. I know it's embarrassing, we've only heard the Alien from this album, and I wanted to do, and honestly, Alexia's not that much into Dream Theater, so she's not gonna be like, how could you dare do this without me? She's gonna be like, yeah, whatever. She's not such a big Dream Theater fan, unfortunately. I mean, she does like them, but she likes bands like Rush and Genesis and stuff like that way more. So I'm the Dream Theater fan. I mean, even my email used to be Dream Theater something hotmail.com back in the day, and then I still have, it's so funny, I still have an email that's porcupine tree something at hotmail, or I think they changed it to live. So yeah, I've been always, so since we're already doing Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson, I thought, hey, why not, you know, add a little bit of, you know, and a little bit of everything. So I wanted to add another song. We're gonna do from the latest album. This is A View from the Top of the World. We're gonna do Invisible Monster, and it's also, I mean, I wanted to choose, all these songs are almost 8 minutes, so this is the shortest one, so we don't go way too much over the time, because a lot of people are like, hey, why are you marathon so long? What can I say, you know? So here we go with Invisible Monster. Let's see. Dream Theater. New Dream Theater. John Petrucci. Now, every Dream Theater fan would say this reminds me of Pull Me Under. It does. Really good.
When you face the creature that waits beneath your bed, will you stare into its eyes or look away?
so crazy that dun 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 dun. That sounds like a different song. They always use a lot of choruses from the previous albums. I love that because it makes you think. And if you're a Dream Theater fan, you recognize these, you know, jumps. And man, but it's so good. It's like I'm not even surprised. I've never heard like a bad. I mean, I think the only album that I had a problem with was the Astonishing or something. Give me a second. But only not because it's bad music. We went to see them live, and it was just so confusing because we hadn't heard the record. We didn't have the lyrics. So it's just one concept album, and it's like 90 minutes of music. So we were just like standing there. And when it's live, you can't really understand the words. So, oh man, it was just very confusing, and we didn't really enjoy that concert that much. But when I listen to Dream Theater, they have this formula, and it works. And it's like, for me, I mean, that's why they're basically the most successful like progressive metal band. And I love also that they're not too heavy. You know, you can listen to this if you're a Kansas fan, or maybe something a little bit more, maybe not King Crimson or Genesis or Yes, but a little bit more heavy, there's more movement going on, you know, a little bit more, you know. So I think that I guess if you're a Rush fan, then you can be a Dream Theater fan like that, because it's like that same direction, because they are very inspired by Rush, of course, and by Iron Maiden, and by bands like that, you know, Metallica. So it's just a combination of all these bands that came before, and then they kind of like made up their own sound. But what I love about them, that everything you hear when they play live is exactly the same. It's like listening to the record. It's insane because they all use, you know, metronomes, and it's just wonderful. But also John Petrucci on the guitar, and just everyone shines. And then James Labrie here is doing an amazing job. Mike Mangini on the drums, John Mayung, and Jordan Rudess. You know, he is amazing. So let's see. I'm sure there's going to be a crazy instrumental part that comes up, just like in every Dream Theater song. Let's check it out. Monster. Very good. Very, very good. Let's see. And here we go. So, I mean, the song is not their most technical. I mean, I've heard some Dream Theater songs where I'm like, you know, like I don't even know what's going on anymore. This was more just straightforward, you know, very, very straightforward. I guess any metal fan that's not into prog, that's not into, could listen to this and say, oh, yeah, great, you know. And also the guitar solo was beautiful, beautifully played. But yeah, the progressiveness didn't shine through here that much. But, you know, whatever, man. You know, I did enjoy it. I can't lie. I'm not gonna nitpick on, literally, this was my favorite band for, my God, I don't know, for the majority of my teenage years, you know, or maybe like the last 3 or so, and then throughout my 20s, I was just fascinated, addicted to Dream Theater. So I'm not gonna pick on them. This was a great song. Yeah, it was not like, you know, maybe a song like, let's see, for you Dream Theater fans. I mean, it wasn't in the presence of my enemies, or, you know, what's a good example? Like one album that I love to death is, I mean, just the first 4, of course, but then so in 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, I think The Great Debate is a good example. The Glass Prison is just amazing. Then everything from Metropolis Part 2, Train of Thought. But yeah, just like everything from Awake, Falling into Infinity is one, it's a weird album, but I love it. It's because they were basically being pushed from the studio to be more mainstream, but it still sounds great. I think it's a great album. They even changed their font on this one. But yeah, just When Dream and Day Unite, and then Images and Words, Awake, all this is just masterfully put together. And then, you know, everything that comes after, you know, Octavarium, Systematic Chaos, it's just so good. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much, Michelle. I hope you like this little add-on here at the end, a little bit of Dream Theater. You know, we already had some, you know, Pineapple Thief and some Steven Wilson, so maybe I thought maybe it would be a good idea to add something. But thank you so much for being here, everyone. I hope you did enjoy. If you liked the video, you can like or subscribe or whatever, you know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.